and this country cannot afford to play cops and robbers if we're always considered the latter.
Sorry.
And how do I look my nephew in his apple face and tell him to be strong when we both know black boys who are murdered every day simply for standing up for themselves?
This dude is preaching.
Yeah, he really is.
This dude is preaching.
Do y'all notice anything different about homie over here?
Or him, because he's bald.
I always look like this. Screw
sorry.
you. I know some of my spoken word viewers don't watch my like rap reactions and he's mocking me, but homeboy's a father now, so make sure to congratulate him. Welcome to another iteration of the greatest of spoken word, in which we react to viral spoken word poems, analyze them, pick them apart, and find out why they went viral. Oh my god. I can't stand you. Introduce yourself in case they don't know you.
My name. I go by a lot of names. Some might know me as Dice. Some may know me as that one deep voice guy. But others, a lot more people, know me as Deepcast.
Deepcast indeed. All right, let's get started.
So I'm driving down the street with my 4-year-old nephew. He knocking back a juice box, me a Snapple. Today, y'all, we are doing manly shit. I love watching the way his mind works. He asks a million questions. Uncle, why is the sky blue? Uncle, how do cars go? Uncle, why don't dogs talk? Uncle, uncle, uncle. He asks uncle, uncle, uncle. He asks uncle, 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 as if his voice box is a warped record. I try my best to answer every question I do. I say it's because the way the sun lights up the outer space is because engines make the wheels go. It's because their minds aren't quite like ours. I say yes, no, no, yes, no, yes, no. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. We laugh. He smiles, looks out the window, spots a cop car, drops his seat and says, "Oh man, Uncle, 5-0, we gotta hide." I'll be honest. I'm not happy with the way we raise our black boys. Don't like the fact that he learned to hide from the cops well before he knew how to read. Angrier that his survival depends more on his ability to deal with authorities than it does his own literacy. Get up, I yell at him. In this car, in this family, we are not afraid of the law. I wonder if he can hear the uncertainty in my voice. Is today the day he learns that Uncle is willing to lie to him? That I'm more human than I am hero. We both know the truth is far more complex than do not hide. Both know too many black boys who disappeared, names lost, know too many Trayvon Martins, Oscar Grants, and Abner Louimas, know too many Sean Bells and Amadou Diallos, know too well that we are the hard-boiled sons of Emmett Till. Still, we both know it's not about whether or not the shooter is racist. It's about how poor black boys are treated as problems well before we're treated as people. Black boys in this country cannot afford to play cops and robbers if we're always considered the latter.
Sorry. Oh, no. I didn't see that coming.
You didn't see that coming?
I ain't gonna lie, that caught me off guard. What are your thoughts?
I straight up thought this was going to be a poem about being black in America. You know what we're told at when we're like 5.
Yeah.
All right.
At 5, think about that. For those of you who don't know, like at an early age, we're warned about the dangers of being black in America. Carry on, sorry.
This dude is just going off. Like, he's saying the thoughts of almost every colored man. I say almost every because some colored people are treated well.
We're not
because
include
they're
that.
well known.
Yeah, we're not going to include that in here, though. Just because,
Right.
Yeah, you spitting facts, but, Karen. Oh, okay. Yeah, and like that cops and robbers thing, yo, that hit different. Always being considered the latter, bro. Man, I'm sure you can remember a time in which, you were advised by a family member or something how to move and operate in certain situations, whether it's a traffic stop. Exactly. Like, for sure. Both my parents taught me how to drive, and each time, like pretty much each time we were behind the wheel and about to practice in a parking lot, they'd be like, "What do you do if you get stopped by a cop?" And I'm like, dang, we've been over this like 20 times. You know what I'm saying? But looking back, I really appreciate how much they tried to drill that in, because it really came in handy one day. I'm not going to lie to you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that drilled in. All I got was, hey, you're black in America, watch out.
I mean, you've been operating smoothly, though, right? Okay, I mean, he knows better. He knows, you know what I'm saying? So there's that. Anyway, I feel the passion. We got to keep going.
Cannot afford to play cops and robbers if we're always considered the latter. Don't have the luxuries of playing war if we're already in one. Where I'm from, seeing cop cars drive down the street feels a lot like low-flying planes in New York City. Where I'm from, routine traffic stops are more like minefields. Any wrong move could very well mean your life. And how do I look my nephew in his apple face and tell him to be strong when we both know black boys who are murdered every day simply for standing up for themselves?
This dude is preaching.
Yeah, he really is.
This dude is preaching.
My God, this brother.
Yeah.
It's
God's
very.
You really need to take the time, sit back, and think about what he's saying. Like, we experience, right? I get pulled over the cops. I'm like, oh, let me just both hands on this wheel.
Yep.
Don't move them, even if they tell me to.
Right? Oh, man, dude. Yeah, like, honestly, it's terrifying, and he doesn't want to instill fear in his nephew. You know what I'm saying? That's why when the boy was like, oh, hi, you know, the 5-0's here, he was like, hey, no, don't do that, you know. But at the end of the day, he...
Even the fact that he calls him the 5-0?
Yeah, yeah, real talk. You don't want to instill fear in your children, but at the same time, you want them to be prepared for the dangers that await them. Very hard thing to balance. There was an episode of Raising Dion, which is a show on Netflix about raising a black child who has superpowers. And there was an episode in particular in which the mom had to have a similar conversation with their 6-year-old son. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard to watch, but it was needed. You know what I mean? Like, I might play a clip of it if I can find it.
Other people, they're going to be afraid of you.
Because they have powers?
No, this isn't about powers. This is about people treating you differently because of the color of your skin. You have to be more careful than other kids, okay? You can't give any reason for people like Mr. Campbell to try and hurt you.
I'm going to have this conversation with my kids one day. You're going to have it with your kids one day. I don't have kids yet, but I plan to, you know what I'm saying? So.
I do have kids. I don't know why he said one day.
Well, I mean, you're not going to explain to her now. I'm not sure she'd understand.
I'll explain to her every year so she'll remember.
Right? And she's going to be going goo goo gaga back to you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to explain it in baby. Ga ga ga. Goo ga ga. Ga gi ga ga go.
She drops a cheer to show she understands. Nah, man. But yeah, like, it's just something I think about a lot, especially because I do want to be a parent. You know what I mean? Anyway.
It's fun. Mostly.
Yeah.
I take him by the hand. I say, be strong. I tell him, I say, be smart. Be kind and polite. Know your laws. Be aware of how quickly your hand moves to pocket for wallet or ID. Be more aware of how quickly an officer's hand moves to holster for gun. Be black. Be a boy. Have fun. Because this world will force you to become a man far more quickly than you'll ever have to need to. He lets go of my hand, but Uncle, he asks, Uncle, what happens if the cop is really mean? And it scares me to know that he, like so many other black boys, is getting ready for a war I can't prepare him for.
That was Javon Johnson.
I think that's the first time during a reaction that tears left.
I understand, bro. I do. I think one of the biggest reasons why this went viral is that this is a major phenomenon within the black community that isn't expressed outside of the black community very often. And I'm not entirely sure what the reason for that is. Maybe we're worried that, you know, people might think that we hate law enforcement by expressing that we have to tell our kids that as they're growing up to be wary of law enforcement, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to driving in particular, you know?
Honestly, just anything.
Yeah, regarding anything, but...
You can be walking and you gotta be wary.
Yeah, hands down. So that's definitely one reason why it went viral. The metaphors the man was using, like talking about cops and robbers, right? I've never heard that game being used in that way before. So I thought that was very clever. His emoting was profound. He went from the beginning of the poem very jovial and happy, chatting with his...
You could tell his soul was breaking at the end.
Yeah, his soul was breaking, his voice was breaking, and it wasn't jarring, the transitions and emotions. it made sense why he hit each emotional high and each emotional low. So I thought that was really cool.
He knows more about poetry than me. I didn't even know there was an emotional high and low. I was just following it the whole time, and
Yeah, I mean, it hits nonetheless. You don't even have to understand the poetic devices, the literary techniques to know that this was fire. You know what I mean? And that's another reason why it went viral.
Bars! It's fire!
Indeed it was.
Heat!
No, you're not.
Fire!
I knew it. I knew it. Straight up though, it's heat, man. And that's the beauty of this. Even if you don't know like the poetic technique, it still hits nonetheless, you know? And I find that quite admirable. So, all right. Really hope y'all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. I'm planning on continuing this series. If there's a recommendation you have for a viral poem that you want me to analyze and react to, let me know. I'm gonna stop talking, but he keeps mocking me.
2 seconds later.
But yeah, all right. We'll catch y'all later. Deuces.